PlayStation 2 has brought about incredible advances in video game technology. Along with these advances come new challenges. Game makers are finding new and different ways of tapping into the hidden powers of the PlayStation 2 graphics engine. When working on Cool Borders 2001, Sony Computer Entertainment decided to scan the faces of professional riders directly into the game. The result? The most realistic pro riders of any snowboarding game.
For the face scanning part of Cool Borders, we did about 8 professional riders. We did Barrett Christie, Todd Richards, Kevin Jones, and several others. And then we did about 13 people that were non-riders, just to have a good variety of heads for the game.
Having the pro riders' face scans lends us the opportunity to have all kinds of introductory animations where you see the riders preparing for their run, adjusting their shirts, collars. It really lends itself well to the beginning and end of each run.
For those of you who are not familiar with this amazing technology, we asked the team to show us how they go about scanning someone's face.
In order to scan a head, we bring the talent in and they sit in the chair, and we have a camera that projects a beam of light right onto their face. We capture 9 or 10 different angles, and what you have to do is you take like a front angle and then they twist around in a circle, and we get every different angle because you can't actually get a whole head in one shot. The camera senses the heat. It comes back with like a heat sensing photo. It reads the depths and the light, so the nose will show up red because it sticks out further. The further back it gets cooler shades, and then there's another lens on there that actually takes the capture. I take the pieces and I cut out the usable parts and I build the whole thing and I piece it together and end up with a 3D model, a nice mesh head. Once I get it basically patched together, and then I have to go through and fill in any holes and gaps and that kind of stuff. And then we apply the texture.
The realism definitely blew us away, but we wanted to know what some of the real snowboarders thought about their character's likeness.
After each rider got his head scanned, they always want to go check it out. They're usually pretty shocked at how close it is, and some of them are pretty scared that that's what they actually look like in 3 dimensions.
That's really weird. That's wrong. You said you're going to be able to make little beings out of computers.
Their head will be spinning around on the computer, and they just can't believe it, how much it actually looks like them. And they all want to know, am I really going to look like that in the game? And they get real excited and can't wait to see it and play it themselves.
Getting the most realistic looking face is only one part of the equation. Since realism is such an important part of a game like Cool Borders 2001, they also need to get the moves right. This is where having one of the largest in-house motion capture studios in the world comes in handy.
The studio itself, I've heard that it's the second biggest in the world, and it's roughly about 60 by 40, and our hot zone is about 30 feet by 20 feet, which is one of the larger ones. We use a 15 camera Vicon system to accommodate all our motion capture needs.
Capturing moves for sports games like football and basketball is easy, but how do you go about capturing a sport that involves flips and jumping off cliffs?
The way we get all of our grabs and flips and tricks into the game, we actually set up an 18-foot trampoline in our motion capture studio.
We actually had to make a special snowboard that was actually something a bit smaller to basically attach to the actor's feet.
Then we had Todd Richards come down and bounce on the trampoline until he got enough air, then he'd throw one of the grabs out. And then after we get all that data, we remove the vertical data so that it just looks like he's grabbing, and then we can position him in the world with our physics.
Well, from what we've seen, Sony Computer Entertainment is pushing the envelope of the technology, and we can't wait to see what comes next.
Cool Borders is actually the first game that we've tried to use this technology in. It's all brand new to us here, and everybody's still learning what we can do with it. We're not only doing heads, we're going to start trying to do arms and hands and objects themselves, like footballs or baseballs even, and to try to get the most realistic looking stuff out of this system. And there's other things coming in, and there's going to be facial motion capture, so we can actually mark up a face and then we can capture that person talking, and then you'll get their real facial expressions and their real phrases, and there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and we're still learning here what exactly we can do with all of it.
Yeah, I know all the other riders in the game, and they're people I ride with all the time, so it'll be fun to challenge me against Todd or Tara and see what happens, because I think we can all do a lot more in the video game than we can in real life.